And headstamps don't matter. Bullets matter.
Yes.
And I wish that people would stop necessarily saying, will a 6mm or will a 6.5 PRC or will it with this bullet work? And there's just a bunch of fucking tofu eating, fucking man bun wearing dorks and no pussy at all. Yeah.
Hold it up, baby! Woo! Is he down? Is he a big one? Is he down? Gorilla of the truck trying to get the damn shot.
Bullshit, man. Look at the thing.
4 more shorts. Yeah. That sack fucking hanging out.
Don't fucking doubt the fucking 6mm.
Shoot him, shoot him. All right, hold on. Hold on.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Those fucking Amish would have shot that motherfucker.
Got a face only mother can love.
That's great.
I've been listening to the Checklist Manifesto. You ever heard of it?
No.
Because I'm a learner.
When you want to be.
Yeah, I fucking don't like stringent stuff. Like I don't like dress right dress. I don't like rules. I guess.
You don't like responsibility.
In small doses.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've literally set up like rock slide stuff just so there's no employees, there's no overhead, and then Jake pulls me in this old big bag of other shit. But it is interesting how like there's some people that I know that are like very organized, what I consider organized. Like you, Robbie, I can't say super organized, but he lives off a checklist. And another guy that I know you guys don't know, he's like, that's his whole life is a fucking checklist. So I listened to this book called Checklist Manifesto, and it talked about going through airplane, like where checklists came from and why they're so important, and how they pretty much like fixed like aircraft crashes, aircraft mechanical problems,
or quality control issues.
Quality control issues, like you're a mechanic.
Yep.
And like the thing that really, I may be getting this backwards because I fell asleep half the time listening to it, but surgeries have a fucking stringent checklist.
Oh yeah.
And they like constantly, they're evaluated checklists. Like, is this efficient? Is this safe? Blah, 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 for both that medical and flight. So it's interesting how the organized people that actually run the day to day, I just show up, cause problems, and leave.
Tay-tay, red carpet.
And you and Robbie, in both the part of business that I'm in, you guys are you guys are like dress right dress, which I appreciate. Yeah. So I'm getting a little more insight to become more organized.
There you go. Well, it's funny that you brought up that those two, like the medical field and obviously airplanes, because people's lives are involved.
Yes.
So that's where it started, because it was important that people don't die. And then it kind of filtered down a little bit. For me, I wouldn't even call it organization. What a to-do list does for me is it all along the day I get pulled in 27 directions. And each one of those directions, usually I need to do something for, and they kind of, I'm always, let's call it, it's Luke's favorite thing. It's called the open door policy. So basically I need to be available for all people at all times. And for that to happen, I usually can't solve the whole problem that's right in front of me. Or you're on the fucking stepper, like this morning, I'm on the stair stepper and I'm thinking through shit. That's like my calm time, and I'll think of something, and I'm on the stepper and I'll put it on my to-do list. Like random things pop into your head, and the only way to get everything done to me is a fucking to-do list, because you won't, like, you'll go to bed tonight and you may think of 3 things that are bothering you and that almost keep you up. If you would just jot those 3 things down on a to-do list, if it was that important to you, then you could go to sleep. But
yeah, that's the number one thing that like it's getting to the point where it helps you think, basically you have no control of your life, or you have control of your life. Checklist control, no checklist, no control.
Yeah. Which
I never really correlated that together.
Yeah. And now, like you were talking about, you got pulled in a shoot to hunt, so there's a little bit more responsibility there. And maybe a to-do list is in order.
And I am thinking about, like, I guess we have the same kind of problem on one aspect is, don't get me wrong, rock slide's awesome, but rock slide is also, it's kind of fine-tuned a little bit. To where there's the things that I was doing 10, 15 years ago that I'm not that I'm not excited. It's just, it's fine tuned to where shoot time. I got to get back into the marketing mold. I got to get back into the shit that matters to grow the business.
It's giving you something to do though.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I probably would just be sitting around eating bonbons.
I think so. You need a little bit of purpose.
I do want to bring something up about that. The funny story.
What, eating bonbons?
Well, it's about eating. So Mason is Jake's kid. If you listen to the podcast, you know who he is. Awesome kid. He babysits our dogs.
Yeah.
So the other day, no, not the other day, like a month ago, I get 2 stacks of things in my mailbox and at my door. And they're from DoorDash. But they're both fucking addressed to Mason Machaney.
No shit.
This basically saying, we've missed you. we come back. Here's a deal. And then I got one on Friday in my mailbox.
Oh my goodness.
Addressed to Mason Machaney.
That's fucking
I'm like,
hilarious, dude.
how much fucking DoorDash does this kid
told
order
you he
from my
crushed
house?
me. Those first few times he was at your house, dude, he just fucking, I paid more than you paid to have him there, basically. Just crushed it.
Dude, they're sending me love letters.
I'm like,
to
how
your
do
son.
you spend $75 at Wingstop and you're fucking 14 years old by yourself? Like, motherfucker was planning out the meals throughout the day.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna order once, I'm gonna cover the
order
next
one.
3 meals.
I'm gonna get it all bulk ordered.
He's like the little hobbits. He's like, what about lunchy, first lunch, second lunch, brunch?
Oh, the hobbits.
Yeah, the hobbits. Fucking first dinner.
Secondies or whatever they call it.
Snackies.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was funny because they like give him like I get love letters from DoorDash to Mason.
That's so funny.
And like I saw it and I was like, it was laying on the counter. I was like, well, we don't like we've never ordered DoorDash.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, that's to Mason.
You don't
Yeah.
Uber Eats or nothing? Really?
Like when I ordered Pizza Hut like not too long ago, they used DoorDash.
Mm-hmm.
They delivered it through DoorDash.
Yeah, exactly. You actually order from Pizza Hut, but it comes
that
that
was
way.
the
Yeah.
first time.
Dude, Uber Eats it's like Amazon. Once you get started, it's pretty fucking.
So
It's hard to stop.
So take me through this fat kid progression here.
Me or Mason?
Both.
So you started with the Uber Eats, dude.
No,
like,
no, but I'm saying, like, how did we go from we have family meal every day to we can drive up fast food, and now we're too fucking late. We just
Too
fucking
lazy to
ordered
eat.
that fucker from
Well, I will tell
our
you.
phone.
So I'll start this by telling you that last night Jessica made me homemade burrito tacos.
You have to. I don't know what that is.
So fucking good. So
What's a
burrito
burrito
is.
taco?
So you can do this. So in your crock pot, you're gonna take a can of red enchilada sauce, a can of beef broth, or a package of beef broth, some different seasonings, whatever you like. Put it all in there with a tri-tip roast or some type of roast. You're gonna make shredded beef.
Okay.
So she cooked that on high all fucking day. We got home yesterday, and I shredded it up, cut it up, and you take the flour tortilla and that remaining sauce. You dip the whole tortilla in that sauce. Put the tortilla in the pan. Put the shredded beef. Put a little bit more sauce. Put the cheese. Fold it over and cook the shit out of it on both sides. That's like a burrito taco. Really fucking, but dude, it was delicious. So we didn't Uber Eats last night, I guess is the point. But usually, Uber Eats is a convenience thing, just like Amazon. Like you could go, you might get on Amazon to order a fucking pack of toilet paper.
Yeah.
But you could have went down the street to Walmart and got your pack of toilet paper. But it shows up at the house the next day for the same price, right? So Uber Eats, first of all, most people don't like to cook at home. Everybody gets busy, and now I have a daughter that drives. She has a job. She's in choir. She's in what is it called when they do plays and shit? She's in. It's called something. Rehearsal. She's got rehearsal every other fucking day, and plus she's going to high school now. She's a junior, and then I have Mason, who's now in football. Which she has a football game today, but football. Everybody has their own fucking thing going on.
So what's the over and under on a month? Like how many days out of the month are you ordering from Uber Eats?
Ooh. I would say 2 to 3 times a week, easy.
Is there like a cycle you go through of the places you order from? What's the top?
Definitely.
What's the top couple?
Definitely. Well, I'll just look at my Uber Eats right here. I'll tell you. So there's a Killer Burger. The reason why Killer Burger is good for Uber Eats is because their fries make it. So 45 minutes later, the fucking fries are still good.
That's
so Killer Burger is really good.
The one over in Hayden.
Yeah. So you can order. So I can order Killer Burger for us right now, and in 1 hour the fucking shit will be here and the fries are good.
I don't believe you.
Motherfucker. It was like, you can't shoot that zebra. But so they're good. Depending on the time of the night, like sometimes at like 9 p.m. and maybe at second dinner. Taco Bell's good at that time because Taco Bell's down the street, man. It gets there fast. There are times while our order like a Hostess bag of crumb donuts and some milk from 7-Eleven, and they deliver that shit.
You've got to
I'm
be
not
fucking
even lying,
kidding
dude.
me.
Like you go on the Uber Eats, go to 7-Eleven and get a bag of chocolate Hostess, a bag of crumb Hostess, and a fucking half-gallon of milk. I will destroy it.
You don't do that.
I swear.
What does that
I
cost?
have fucking history
what
on
does
here.
that cost you?
Oh, it's stupid.
What's the delivery fee?
So we actually have like the really high plan with Uber Eats.
Wait a minute. There's a fucking plan?
There's plans with Uber Eats. So you pay this fee per month or whatever, and you get discounts on the delivery and discounts on the overall order, like every time you order.
This is a whole new world.
It is. So yeah, I mean 7-Eleven.
How much is the 7-Eleven? I want to know.
God damn it.
What did you fucking pay
I'll fucking pull
to
one
get?
up.
So we're talking a half a gallon of milk
Yep.
and 3 things of donuts, the Hostess donuts.
Yeah. Usually I'll get the bag of chocolate and the bag of, and it depends if they have them in stock too. Well, let me see. I'm gonna go on here. We're gonna look at orders. Okay.
So
Okay. So there's Dairy Queen right there, but here's a 7-Eleven. So I got a Hostess Crunch Mini Donuts, a Hostess Frosted, and a gallon of milk with the tip. The total was $21.
that doesn't seem unreasonable.
It's not unreasonable.
Yeah.
And it's because we have that plan.
How much do you pay a month for that plan?
I don't know how much the plan is. I don't see the bill come through, but we're on a fucking plan. Here, I'll look at my account.
That is the fattest thing I've ever heard.
Well, fat but not fat.
I'm just saying that is
Lazy. I would call it lazy.
Remember Wally?
Uh-huh.
We're getting closer.
That's right. It's bad. Well, pretty soon, like, self-driving cars and everything else. We can get into all that shit.
Hi, I'm Brent Jarbo, CEO of ADG. For the past decade, we've been dedicated to crafting the highest quality, 100% American-made rifle brass to meet all your hunting and long-range shooting needs. This year, we're excited to introduce our new 6.8 Western and 270 WSM cases. With over 250 years of combined industry experience, we're committed to excellence. Look for our distinct orange boxes wherever you buy your reloading supplies. Whenever you need quality rifle cartridge cases, choose ADG Premium Rifle Brass, where precision meets performance.
Have you seen the 3D printed food?
No.
Yeah, like
Really?
printing meat and shit.
Well, I guarantee you, but just like, what is that movie with Fifth Element? You remember Fifth Element from like 25 years ago? And they put the little thing in the rehydrator, and it's like a whole bowl of fucking noodles pops out.
Yep. They got that hot chick from Resident Evil in there.
You thought I was lying.
Dude, you're fucking you got probably.
It'll keep loading.
Oh, we're over 20 already.
Oh, yeah. So you can see, there's a lot of Killer Burger. There's the Fix in there. And you can do this anywhere you go, right? So it have Wingstop, McDonald's, Taco Bell, Popeyes, Sweet Lou's, State Line, Popeyes, Wingstop, White House Grill. It's all in there.
Holy diabetes.
Anyways.
You don't have the beaties yet, but we're working on it.
Yeah. I got something, I guarantee it. There's something wrong with me.
Interesting. Anyways,
how did we get on that conversation?
That all started with Mason's DoorDash.
Oh, okay. So it's funny that all lined up because he's going to your house tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I kept the little pamphlet. He gets like a discount. I don't know. It's like a little discount for him.
We don't normally do DoorDash. It's normally the Uber Eats. But some places won't be on Uber Eats. They'll be on DoorDash, so depending on what you want.
Like I said, I didn't know that they fucking did that kind of stuff.
It's a fucking thing. So when I was in Florida, I went to Chick-fil-A several times, and Chick-fil-A now has their own delivery service. That motherfucker had 10 cars lined up, 10 delivery vans, basically. So rather than go through them and pay Uber Eats whatever the fee is, they're creating their own delivery service per branch.
Really?
Yeah. So within a certain mile radius, like Jimmy John's.
Yeah.
So now people are starting to catch on
fast.
how popular that is. And these bigger time, Chick-fil-A type of restaurants are doing their own delivery.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like Amazon, just smartest to deliver their own shit.
Yeah.
Like if you got enough, quantity.
Yeah.
Speaking of Stocky's, you were down there again for a couple days.
Yes, I went for I think I was there a Monday through Thursday. Couple issues we wanted to look at got repaired. It had to do with some inlet programs, things like that, some barrel shanks we wanted to add some clearance to, just readdress some carbon thicknesses. They did get a new batch of carbon with a little bit more resin in it. So the overall finish of the carbon on the outside of the stock is looking fantastic. It did add a hair of weight, so maybe an ounce or two, depending on which stock model you're getting. But the overall finish and strength is fantastic. We are receiving somewhere between 15 and 30 stocks a week. We're getting them out as fast as possible. I think the quality is there. We have some quality control processes in place on our side. Throughout this stock learning process, we had things like recoil lug. Let's call them mismatches between manufacturers. So we took the lead on that and basically created a recoil lug that's hardened steel, nitrided. It's stamped with a on it, and every one of those is exactly the same size as a factory Tikka lug, plus or minus 2/10,000ths of each other and of the Tikka lug. So, and then we convinced Stocky's to carry those lugs. So now we kind of solved the mismatch recoil lug. Some barreled actions that would fit, some wouldn't, and I'm talking about mountain tactical versus factory versus and so on.
And then the that all sounds awesome. The thing that we'll have to do is we get a box of 30, we'll have to weigh them and get the average.
Yeah, it's going to be an ounce or two heavier than what's advertised at the moment. Again, we're going through these learning processes of stock manufacturing. And it's the same thing with Stocky's, right? Because it's a new stock model. Like we have thin areas, thick areas, and everything is kind of susceptible to different issues depending on what stock model you're looking at. Stocky's is fantastic to work with when I go solve problems. They're very concerned to make sure to make the best product possible. We do have some complaints on Rock's side about a couple things that I should address. One of them is the delivery dates. So in other words, when you ordered versus when the stocks are delivered. Now we have 5 molds with Stocky's. We have 2 for railed Tikkas, 1 for railless Tikka, 1 that covers 700, Remington 700, Savage, Howa. There's a couple others in there that I'm forgetting as far as inlets for that mold. And then now we have a Winchester Model 70 mold.
Yep.
Each mold is capable of producing 2 molds per day. And then, of course, 5 days a week. And that's barring no issues happen during that time. Yeah. So there are only a certain amount of stocks that can be produced per week and per month. So there are some railed or railless Tikka stocks and Remington 700 stocks that have been delivered before railed Tikka stocks because they're the most popular. We have 2 of those molds, but even with 2 of those molds, the majority of stocks that have been ordered were railed Tikkas. So those of you with railed Tikkas, and again, they did start producing the LE green and the black carbon camo. Those started basically when I was there. So we will start to see some of those come out. Those were some of the initial orders, but customers are complaining that stocks are being received out of order, but most of the time there is an explanation for the situation.
Yes.
The other issue, what else I was going to talk about? So orders, in order.
Yeah,
we talked about one other thing.
Well, just the biggest bitch in the thread, which I get, is a dude will get an order from January or February or whatever, and a lot of that is that mold can produce faster than the other 2 because you said most of them are railed. Yeah, and there is early on, in my opinion, you can jump in from what I see. I pretty much have. When they get one, they tell me they came in. I go look at almost every one that's shipped now, and they're pretty much what I would consider perfection now. Yeah. The stocks that are coming in to us directly, we're not having to do much, if any, work to them. We do have an extensive quality control process now. So you guys are going to be, as of technically tomorrow, the cards are arriving tomorrow, but you guys, if you receive a Rockstock, it'll have a quality control card that involves checking recoil lug, presence, as well as protrusion. We test fit a Tikka barreled action in it before it leaves here. The customer is going to receive a phone call to verify that everything is correct and we didn't miss any accessories and so on. There have been a lot of stocks that have been changed 5, 10, 15 times, in the time that they've had their order placed. So we just want to make sure everything is correct there, that our systems all match, the invoice matches, and again, that's going to happen for every stock from now on. Yeah, having options is great. For the customer. And then until you have 40 fucking, change logs. Yeah. Basically. If you're called in and you ordered one specific way and then you called in and made, and customers like to do this, unfortunately, but you made 5 changes, that does leave room for error. Yeah. Like you can have a fuck up inside there. So having the guy call is fantastic. Yep. And we shouldn't, I think the Rokstoks are on track as good as they can be.
at this point. So the delivery schedules, the quality that's coming through, everything is going very well. We just need to get in. We have turned off selling more stocks since maybe 4 or 6 weeks ago. We have about 300 stocks on the books right now. That's a real number, so it means we have about 300 more to deliver before we'll consider opening them back up.
Halfway through, but I will say this. It'll be one hell of a lot faster for the last half than the first half.
That's correct.
Yes.
Because we're going to release in batches, if anything, if not what's on the shelf and so on.
Yeah, and it's growing pains. Everybody wants to shit on, UM or shit on. It's just growing pains. I can't really say it's their fault. It's not UM's fault. It's we didn't know what we didn't know. And I would say the buck stops with fucking shoot the hunt. We fucked up on what we thought we could deliver. And now we're fixing it as fast as we can.
So stay positive.
Yeah.
You'll get your stock.
You'll get your stock. And I do think most people will be surprisingly happy when they get it.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yep. And the green ones, in my opinion, if you can kept on the track with the green ones, you will be happy.
Yeah.
Because it's every time I look at it, it makes me smile a little bit. It does. Like Tanya's hog rifle is great, but when I look at that green one, I don't know. It's just something about it. It's like it's a lot different than most stocks on the market. I think we fucked up for our thing. I was just reading her.
Oh, she said, okay, new around the campfire at 10:45.
10:45 Austin.
We're 25 minutes out.
Wow. She nice work.
She had them on deck.
She had a backup to the backup.
Well, let's get into some of these.
Emily is she's better than Luke.
Oh, she's way better. Way better than Rhett.
Oh, fuck, way better.
Maybe that's what irritates me when I hear that intro come on now.
Maybe.
Because that was way back from when he was here.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Water under the bridge. Before we get into the speak pipes real quick, again, we got another email on, we've addressed this, but we'll address it one more time. Why we hate 7 mags. And I can't even say Jake hates 7 mags. I have
Well, don't say 7 mag. It's just 7 millimeter.
7 millimeter. And Jake hasn't stated that. I can't put words in Jake's mouth. I have stated that. And it goes back to this. I do think you would be fine shooting a 7 mag with like an ELDM, 180 ELDM, 180 Burger. What I have seen from the 195 and Accubons and 7 mag is elk stay on their feet longer. It may just be my imagination. It may just been a coincidence, but every time I've seen them, and I would say, I can't put a number out, 20, 30 elk, they stay on their feet and run away. They die. Most of them died. They run away, and then you got to shoot them again, or you got to shoot them again, you got to shoot them again. So that's my hang up. But if you shoot a match bullet, which most of them were not shot with a match bullet that I witnessed, the 180 ELDM would be my choice, or 180 Burger, you won't see those problems. But he also addressed, I'm thinking about a 6.5.
Well, he said he was worried about a 6.5. Yeah, I'm worried about a 6.5 performance on elk. And I can tell you that 147 ELDM and the 156 Burger are killers. And I'd have no issue. To be honest with you, even out of a 6.5 Creedmoor, like if you say I'm going to keep a 6.5 Creedmoor within 400 yards or something like this, that's even acceptable with a 147 ELDM.
Yeah, oh, fuck yes.
Yeah.
And I hate to keep bringing up the 223 thread, but there's a 223. The reason I don't hunt with a 223 is in my opinion, it limits you to me to 400 yards and in with a 77 TMK. But if you, just this morning, I was looking at this thread on Rockslide, and it's 243 6mm. What have they killed? Dude, there is a pile of animals. Then we have a 6.5 kill thread. There is a pile of animals with a 6.5.
Yeah.
And they're all using match bullets. I
don't know that I agree with saying it is the bullet. It's not the cartridge. People have to, first of all, you got to get over the whole 6.5 Creedmoor, 6.5 PRC, 6.5 whatever. You got to get past that part and simply focus on the bullet. So when we talked about the 6UM in Africa, it's really the 115 DTAC that's the shining star. Like you can make a 6 Creedmoor shoot out of a 26-inch barrel, the same thing a 6UM will do out of a 20-inch barrel. So it doesn't matter the horsepower behind the bullet, but that bullet is what's really doing the work.
It is. And if you can't get a DTAC, you don't I've seen a lot of work from a 180 LDM.
Yep.
But what I do notice is I do think you're going to get more damage, I don't know, I can't say more. You're just going to get better terminal performance on thicker animals with the 115 DTAC nose ring than the 108 LDM.
Yeah.
And headstamps don't matter. Bullets matter.
Yes.
And I wish that people would stop necessarily saying will a 6mm or will a 6.5 PRC or will it with this bullet work? Because I personally don't want to shoot animals with a mono bullet. I don't think they're efficiently killing, especially once that speed drop below like 2,500 feet per second, 2,400 feet per second. You do see less, kill factor, wound channel, whatever you want to call it. We're not walloping. People say, oh, it's got knockdown power. Bullshit. Bullets don't have knockdown power. They have the more tissue they touch, the faster they kill. It always has been, always will be. So that's it on the 7.
And that 147 ELDM is a killing some bitch.
Oh yeah, some of the channels, like Africa's, the greatest thing about Africa is you get a lot of body of work in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And outside of the oryx, which he says sable oryx, sturdy animals.
Fucking, yeah.
Yeah, and it was dead animal walking first shot.
Yeah.
It just soaks them up.
Yeah.
And that goes back to what I said before. When you shoot a tough animal with a fucking big gun, that animal's tough. When you shoot him with a small, 6mm, 6.5, damn, that's a small gun. It's like they don't correlate that it's probably just the animal.
Yeah.
And like I agree with Forum says, because I've seen it. There are fucking Medal of Honor winners, animals out there that the wills to survive is more than the other animal you shot. And they could be the same size of animal.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
All right, get in some speak pipes.
Yes.
We have 9 minutes.
For those of you that don't know what SpeakPipe is, there's a button on the website. And you basically use your phone to leave us a voicemail. And then your voicemail will come on the podcast just like you're about to hear.
It is. And like getting on like the 180, one more thing about like 180 or 225 ELDM. I think people put words into our mouths and say, I think the 180 can kill as well or better than the smaller version, a 225 ELDM, a 215 Burger. But you're also adding more recoil. You need more weight to shoot that gun more efficiently. So there's trade-offs. I'm never saying a 338 with the 300 grain Burger isn't going to kill better than a 147. But there's huge trade-offs involved.
Yeah.
And then you bring in the WES, and we've covered all of this. We're actually going to do a recast on the bullet terminal thing that Forum did. We're going to put that out sometime this week or next.
Generally, it just revolves around follow-up shots, right? Yes. Almost everything about large caliber versus small caliber is a follow-up shot.
Yeah, and you do see, I've shot 7 mag. Like I just stated, I've shot animal a lot. 300 300 Ultra, which I hunted with a ton since it came out in 2000 or whenever it was. I've shot animals lots and lots of times. I hunted with 2 brothers that hunt with a 3378 Weatherby. They shot a lot of elk because they were on the reservation. They had the opportunity to shoot a lot of elk. They shot multiple times at elk with that big cannon. And they started out with I can't remember the bullet they started out with, but it was a tougher bullet, and they ended up shooting. They started to shoot everything with. They started out with a Burger. Before Jake was into ammo, he
Red Bull, baby.
Damn, it's gone.
Oh, you might have to drink some water, poor fella.
When water fucking kill you. Those Burger bullets or Barnes bullets. Sorry, it was the 180 ELDXs. They were mono coated blue. And man, they talk about people saying that they don't fucking make meat damage. You could eat it right to the hole with the monos, like they say. Dude, they would fucking shoot things with those things in the shoulder at like 80 yards. And there was no edible meat on the front half.
Oh, really?
So it's a speed thing.
Yeah.
They switched later on to shot 180 ballistic tips from Nosler, and they moved back into the rib cage, saved a lot more meat. But what I was getting at is fast speed, big knockdown power. They were shooting multiple 3-4 times at these elk. So that's not necessarily, it's kind of a facade.
Definitely. And I think a good example of that is, I guess they'll hear about the giraffe already, but basically, coming from a guy that's seen, let's say 50 giraffe die. Giraffe is an enormous animal, thick hide. And, you have a direct comparison to large magnum performance on a giraffe versus that little bullet you put in there. And it was on the very low minimum side of distance traveled and time to die.
Yes.
Versus all those other big bullets. So when you have a large body of data or a reliable source of a large body of data, it gives you more information, I guess.
It does. The thing that you notice, though, in all these arguments is they never do the low end side.
Yeah.
They have tons of fucking research and they have tons of data on the big side. And they say, oh, the small side can't be done because maybe you have one offer and maybe none. No experience at all. Which you got to see both sides of it before you can make an argument. So, all right, enough about that.
Okay, SpeakPipe.
You just explained the SpeakPipe? You already explained it?
Yeah, SpeakPipe, go on the website, shoottohunt.com. I think it kind of floats around the bottom now. Is that right? Or it's
Kinda
just at the
floats
bottom?
with the website.
Yeah, it kind of floats with the website. It's a little deal. You just click it from your phone, and it uses it's literally like you're leaving a voicemail for somebody, and it's a message that comes through email to us. And they go on there and they listen to them, and as long as you're not a complete ass, you're going to hear it on the podcast. Well, even we had an ass the other day anyway, so.
There's always asses. We're asses.
Hey guys, loving the podcast. I've learned a ton, but wanted to know y'all's opinions on the strengths and weaknesses of a chassis versus a more traditional stock for hunting and field use. I know the Rokstoks is kind of y'all's baby, but I know you've built guns on both. It looks like you guys shoot both. So I'd love to hear, educated discussion on when to use one versus the other, or if you should never use a chassis, or if a chassis is always the answer. Anyway,
That's
look forward to hearing from you.
Good
Appreciate
question.
First of all, he said y'all.
He did say y'all. He's down south over there, which is all right.
I'll let you go first.
Most of my experience with y'all type of dudes is they're all solid. If you say y'all, generally you're a solid guy.
You got to watch out for some of those fucking Texans, though.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you get in the backwoods, whatever you.
Yeah.
So, anyways, one example I can give, these are real life examples, would be the 33XC I built, started off in an XLR chassis, and it was a motherfucker to shoot. You did not want to shoot it. And I relate that to, any type of composite stock, wood stock is going to absorb some of that recoil impulse into the stock and into your shoulder. And the chassis is basically like there's no absorption of any kind. It's from when the bullet leaves, it transfers through the recoil lug directly into the chassis and then directly into your shoulder. There's no, and I don't know if this to be true or not. I just know that when we swapped out that 33XC from the XLR chassis, the XLR Element magnesium chassis, and this is nothing against XLR at all. I can just tell you that it went from being a bitch to shoot to being a joy to shoot in the Macmillan Dallas Lane designed Nimrod stock. Fantastic stock for that big fucking hitter, and I loved shooting it after that. So I think there are functionalities in a chassis for a given weight that are great for people. Like if you wanted to make a short-barreled 6.5 PRC for a truck gun or a 6 Creedmoor or a 22 Creedmoor, something like this that's relatively low recoil impulse, and you're looking for a folding stock, you're looking for lightweight, you're looking for integrated ARCA rail, things like that. Like there are definitely features that make a chassis stand out over a stock, but I think it's very much a niche kind of market.
Totally agree. It's a personal preference. I've hunted with chassis. I hunted with the XLR Element. I've hunted with the Hunt 26. The cool thing, we had a couple different threads on Rockside about this. Like the XLR, if you have a child, you can get a different back end on the butt
Oh,
stock.
yeah. So adjustability is a big one.
Adjustability. So it all comes down to personal preference. I have the same experience. I built Jake's UM built me a 33XC, which is a fucking beast. And I actually bent.
That's what's in front of us right now.
Yep. Is that a 33XC?
Yep.
I bent Hunt 26, which that's a lot for Hunt 26 to take.
Yeah.
I bent the recoil, the slot
Yep.
on it. So that's not a fault of the Hunt 26. They basically said that was a little too much because you can't really bet it. That's a problem. There's nothing on the front end. But I hunted with the 6UM, the first 6UM built. I hunted with the Hunt 26 on a Tika Hunt 26 chassis, and I had no problems with it. The one problem I have with this is my problem. There is chassis work. Look at the PRS. Look at NRL Hunter. Everybody fucking uses them. Saying they'd work. It's just a personal preference. A bad habit of mine in the moment of the truth that I've worked on a lot is when I have a pistol grip. When I get ready to shoot, I fucking like death squeeze that thing and I pull it towards me and I shoot to the right a lot. And it took me a while. Actually, Casey Streep is the one that brought it up to me. I told him what was going on, and he's like, you know what I used to do all the time? He's like, I'd get on there and I'd pull that sucker back to me because it's a lever. It's like, I don't know, something about the pistol grip-ish on a stock or like the Rokstoks, it's harder to death grip. Like, I guess you notice it more. When I grab that little, it's like smaller, and I do have little hands, but when I can grab a hold of it and I pull it and I break the shot, it veers to the right. So for me, it's just easy. Obviously we have the Rokstok, and I love the Rokstok.
Yep.
But when I moved out of that XL or that Hunt 26 on the 33XC into a It's actually that same stock. What is the Manners EH1?
Each one.
I instantly shot better.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Yeah.
Because it's easier for me to hold on to that.
Yeah.
I can't think of the damn name of not the pistol grip, but it's vertical grip.
Vertical grip.
The vertical grip. It's just easier for me to hang on to it with a stock. I like carbon stocks because, the Hunt 26 wasn't cold, but the other thing, when you hunt in the cold, those aluminum chassis, those magnesium chassis can get really cold.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, to answer the question it's such a personal preference and you almost have to try both. I've tried both. Jake's tried both, and we both went back to a stock.
Yeah. We do now, so we build on Hunt 26s. We build on XLR chassis all the time here at UM, and we do now bed the front lug, especially on the XLR chassis. This helps to keep that front action screw tight, and of course we Loctite the shit out of it, but that potential for movement. But guys really don't know, like when they're installing their barreled action into an XLR chassis, that you need to push that barreled action all the way back so the recoil lug's touching before you tighten that screw. A lot of guys miss that, and it leaves the opportunity for that recoil lug to move back and forth, and any amount of movement is going to generate and loosen that front action screw, which is going to leave you with problems. So bed the front recoil lug if you can. That will definitely help keep everything tightened up. And I just wouldn't put any big hitters, and I would say anything 300 PRC and up is probably too much.
On the lightweight chassis.
Yes, on the lightweight chassis, definitely. Yeah, once you get bigger, like we have, Ryan and I built those 7 PRC 26-pound guns for the Night Force ELR Steel Challenge, and those are fucking fantastic.
They are.
We definitely shoot those good.
I fought Jake on that hard, but they are fucking comfortable.
We put that grip on there that you can get from XLR that has like a back paddle, so it almost makes you feel like you're on a stock rather than a pistol grip. It doesn't give you that feeling where you want to wrap around it. I like that better than a standard pistol grip.
Yes.
But yeah, those were phenomenal to shoot, and you can't make a gun that heavy with a stock.
No, and the thing that like changes for me for that is that gun is so fucking heavy.
Yes.
They're like 25 pounds. I hardly even hold on to I just barely fucking touch the grip.
Yeah.
Another thing on chassis is if you're a gadget dude, chassis are by far the way to go.
Yeah.
If you want to hang shit off them, you want to put
definitely.
a fucking chronograph, you want to fucking attach stuff, whatever you want to do, chassis are the way for that.
Yeah.
On your builds now, I don't know if you know the answer to this, but what's the percentage chassis to stock?
Well, to be honest with you, since the Rockstock come out, that's been a large percentage of builds, especially on the Tika stuff. We still have guys coming in asking for chassis. I would say we haven't done nearly as many on the Hunt 26 as we had on XLR. XLR still seems to be the standout above the rest. But I would say the majority is swaying away from chassis, at least at UM. Now you come in here, we have a whole wall. We got everything for you to sample and touch and feel. It just seems like lately there tends to be more stocks.
Yeah, and I do agree with what you're saying there as far as you do have everything, and I think people need to come in. It's kind of like boots and backpacks.
Definitely.
Come in because you may not like the rock stock. Not everybody will.
Nope.
Not everybody will like I like the Nimrod stock. It's just I'm glad I grabbed the Nimrod stock. It's a great stock, but it's the pistol grip is too big for my hand.
Yep.
So you got to come feel it.
Yep. And you said personal preference, and that's really what it comes down to. So I wouldn't say that one is better than the other. Both have their pros and cons. I would say whatever you can shoot the best with whatever cartridge it is that you're shooting that meets the the accessories or the features that you're looking for.
And if you can try before you buy, or you have a buddy with the shit you're looking at, try to go do it. Try to use his stuff first. Let's do one more and then call that dude.
Okay.
Enhance your shooting experience with STOCKY'S stocks. Are you tired of struggling with mediocre rifle stocks that hinder your performance? Imagine having a high-quality rifle stock that not only enhances your accuracy, but also provides superior strength in a lightweight build. STOCKY'S Stocks offers a wide range of premium rifle stocks manufactured with hand layup carbon fiber construction, a patented carbon fiber AccuBlock, and multiple finish options. Whether you're a long-range shooter or a hunting enthusiast, our stocks are perfect for you. Experience unmatched precision and durability with STOCKY'S stocks. We provide stock installation instructions, technical support, and guidance to help you choose the right stock for your rifle. Upgrade your shooting game today with STOCKY'S stocks.
Dan Heitzman with H&H Coffee Company. Just wanted to let you and your listeners know that pour over coffee packs that we tested on the Shoot to Hunt podcast are online and ready to go.
Oh, badass.
hhcoffeecompany.com. If you do place an order, and if you'd like, be sure to use code F4WM for your support for the Foundation for Wildlife Management.
Perfect.
Thanks. Good luck hunting. Season's upon us.
Oh, that's awesome.
I would never have thought of doing a fucking sales ad on.
Yeah. It fucking worked. That's gonna be the first one of many. Get your ad on the podcast.
Oh,
He was on our podcast,
Yeah,
and we
he was
sampled his coffee.
Oh, no,
so
absolutely.
That's
But I didn't expect that.
yeah.
Like, that wasn't a question.
No.
That was like, here's my ad, bitch.
Yep. Fucking play it. That coffee was good though.
It was.
That pour over little coffee pack was good. We definitely need to order some of those for our next trip.
We do. Oh, fuck. I got to call this dude, and you gotta fucking
We're doing the campfire.
keep talking.
Well, what can I keep talking about? I don't have nothing exciting at the moment. Let's do this.
I got to convert him over, though, is the problem. Is Austin? Hold on 1 second, sir.
If you want to tell one of your biggest epic hunting fail stories, do it through the speak pipe or get a hold of us at podcast@shoottohunt.com, and you can tell your story your way. Let us learn the hard-learned lesson that you went through. Waiting on Ryan here. He's getting this guy dialed in.
What in the heck? Are you there? Holy shit. Still not connected.
All right. I'll go through this rifle that we got in front of us. We did just do a reel about this on Instagram, but this is a monster 30-inch barrel, 9.3 twist, 33 XC. It's definitely an ELR type of build. It's probably not something you want to carry around hunting because it does have some meat to it. It's got a Night Force Attacker 7-35 on there. It's got our DBM, and mag, but it's pretty much non-functional because that 33 XC is going to be somewhere around 4.3 to 4.4 inches, depending on the bullet that you choose. It's got a TI Pro 5 brake up front. Again, spiral-fruited 30-inch ace barrel. We have a Manners EH1 stock. We have our Premier rings. And, of course, our Cerakote team here did a badass job on the colors. It's got like this brick mortar kind of color on. Jessica hated it, but I love that color.
Looks good. The ATAC car looks good.
Dude, it's gonna shoot good. If you get a big old bipod on the front of there, you're gonna be able to reach out and touch something for sure.
And if you order one, don't order one with a can and want load dev.
Yeah, don't put a suppressor on your 33 XC. It's gonna kick the shit out of you.
Austin, are you there?
I am.
Nice.
Fantastic. I don't know. The Roadcaster kicked me out. It said you cannot connect. So we're learning. You're learning. But this is around the campfire. And Austin, I hear you have a story for us.
I do.
Let's hear it.
First year I was guiding hunters. We had an elk camp 5 miles back. Take mules in, hunt, and short story long, I guess. First night we were in there, I get in and fall asleep about midnight. Get our mules unpacked, and a bear comes in the tent, rustles around with us. We get him spooked out. No big deal. Go hunt. Our clients showed up the next day and took our hunters out, hunted for this 5-day hunt, and they left after 5 days at noon. And we hadn't been to town or had a shower or anything. And just down the road, about 20 miles from camp, is a little, I got 5 or 6 bar stools. So we all went to town, and I woke up at 4 to the guy I was working for saying, "Where's the money?" I said, "What money?" And he said, "I got a gallon Ziploc full of cash. Do you know where it's at?" And I said, "No, I didn't know anything about it." $15,000
$15,000
cash in a gallon Ziploc bag that their client this hunt, and it's gone. So we backtracked 5 miles down the trail in the dark, got to the top to the vehicles, couldn't find anything. Drove down the road at about 2 miles an hour looking, couldn't find it. We get into town about 7 o'clock and stop at the little bar there, serve coffee. Some old local come in there at 5:30 in the morning and found that gallon Ziploc full of cash laying in the parking lot and turned it in. And we got it back.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Man, whoever that
Wouldn't
motherfucker
happen
was needs the
everywhere.
good juju.
How? My question, like when I think about if I lost that money, I would be blaming everybody. How many times did you get fucking blamed, where your guys get blamed for that fucking money?
Then found it.
Well, that's the thing is nobody knew about it. The guy thought maybe he left it in his saddlebags or something. So we're rummaging through the gear, like back to the top through everybody's vehicles. We can't find nothing.
Oof.
And
this is
by the grace of God.
Is this the
What's that?
owner of the outfitting business?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep. I take that back. It was actually the owner's dad. The owner was gone, so his dad was in charge of his son's 1,000 that was missing.
That was the last time the dad was in fucking charge of the money.
Well, fuck, bringing $15,000 cash up to your
actually
hut.
Oh, you're dropping out again, bud.
Out. That's a crazy story, though. I mean,
yeah, that is like any. That gets like your hackles up, because I know Jake had a similar situation with an envelope, a magical envelope of cash.
I was about to tell my story.
Oh,
yeah.
ahead,
Fuck,
sorry.
dude.
Yeah.
So we went and bought that truck recently, and we brought some extra money to put down on the truck. Didn't end up needing all of it because they gave me more for the truck than I thought they were, my trade-in truck.
Mm-hmm.
So it had, I believe it was $4,000. So it was under, I handed it to Jessica, my wife, at the dealership. It was under her control because I'm all fucking excited about the truck and all the other shit, right? So we left there. We drove over. We went to go eat at Texas Roadhouse. And let's just say that the next day the money was gone, right? So we start this whole search process. She tells me that it was in the center console of the truck and that it never went into Texas Roadhouse, never none of that. So she basically she believes that it was stolen from the truck in front of our house.
Wow.
Which I just don't believe.
Do you think she took it in Texas Roadhouse?
And was never found?
Did. So yeah. So at this point, so a couple days later, Texas Roadhouse, she had called Texas Roadhouse, or we went there. So they had kind of like a note like, hey, I'm looking for this envelope of money. They call us like 3 days later. They said, oh yeah, we found an envelope where you were sitting, but it had like $20 in it. Right. So and then we knew it was our envelope because we had some numbers written on it.
Yeah.
So long story short, somebody found that fucking envelope, but they didn't turn it in with the money. They left just enough money
They
in
weren't
there.
quite as kind.
They were not.
I was gonna say, Austin, I guess the people in Idaho aren't as honest as the people in Montana.
Did. Well, I mean, I guess that waitress needed the money or whatever, but Jessica refused to believe that she brought it into the Roadhouse with her, where we would have never got that envelope back had she not brought it in.
Two different kinds of people in the world.
Yes.
I would feel guilty.
Yeah.
Like if I took $15,000 or $4,000, I would. That karma's coming back to me. Somewhere.
It will. It will. You got to believe it will.
Yep.
So good karma on the guy that turned it in anyway.
Absolutely. So you still guiding, Austin?
This is the first year in 13 years I'm hunting for myself. I actually came out of the woods today to do laundry and get more snacks.
How's it going?
It's been going really good, but dealing with public land hunters is something that aggravates me at times.
Like what general, give us a specific, what general area in Montana?
I was guiding in central Montana, but I am from the southeastern corner, and that's where I'm hunting now.
Nice.
Dude, that's a different world over in the southeast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, cool it was. I had a challenging morning, let's put it that way. Could have been another campfire story.
Oh, well, we'll have to get if you 13 years of guiding, you probably got some stories. Maybe we'll have to get you back on for some guiding stories.
Yeah.
I do have some stories.
Well, we will get a hold of you. We appreciate the call and we appreciate the story.
Thank you, sir.
You bet.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks a bunch, guys.
You bet. Bye.
So I guess what we can learn from that story is not have your clients pay you in cash on the spot when they arrive at the hunt, or bring a fucking check.
That just going to damn, dude, South Africa, even Neil's like, well, I don't want all that cash.
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny.
Yeah. Well, now I realize he's got to deal with the whole bank and everything else. I wouldn't have brought as much cash as I did now that I know that.
No. And he told, I had called and Tanya, the travel agent, had a bunch of questions. So I said, do you want me to bring you the cash? And he's like, well, I bring some, but for tips and stuff, but PayPal, Venmo, the wire it kind of thing.
Probably brought too much on my side.
All right, next speak pipe.
Speak pipe.
Let me get back into the screen.
Hello, this is Storm Tramp. on
Storm
Rock
Tramp.
Slide,
Oh,
and
rock slide guy, Storm
I
Tramp.
had a few questions about Shoot to Hunt University. Number one, when will more classes be available to register for? And number two, I had some questions about the rental guns that are for purchase. I was curious, how much are they? How much have they been shot? Are they the Roke Slide Special, Tika, TX3, and 223 with the Rockstock and the Maven RS 1.2? And have they been set up to mitigate issues as per forms instruction as far as the disassembly, degrease, torque spec, and paint pinned or fingernail polished? And also, what colors are they available in? Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.
First of all, we'd have to know more information on the name Storm Tramp, and is he a serial killer?
Yes. It kind of has that slow, drawn out kind of type of personality.
Yes.
Anyways.
I had a first sergeant just like him. It's pretty interesting.
Okay, so I'll kind of field most of these on the availability of additional S2HU classes. So we have several different classes now that we're pushing. We have a bear hunt class, which is full for 2025. We now have a African safari hunt in Africa. This is a shoot to hunt university /hunt. That will be up on the website. So today is Thursday, September 19th. Our goal is to have that up next week. We're trying to fine-tune the availability of all the trainers to make sure the week is good. So if you do want that, to sign up for that, but it's not yet up on the website, you are welcome to email us at marketing@shoottohunt.com, and they will put your name on the short list. I believe 1 or 2 spots are probably already filled, and we're only taking 6. So make sure you email in if you do not see that product on the website. We do have a winter class that is opening up for the end of 2025.
Yeah, it should be up today or tomorrow. So the 19th.
Yeah, that's not this year, right? That's for 2025.
2025, and it's going to be like the 16th of February-ish.
Oh, so technically that's 2026.
No,
or are we talking about the first part of next year?
This year. Coming in.
Oh, okay. So just a few months from now, like 4 months from now.
Yeah, and I think it's capped at 8, and I think we already have 3 pretty hard yeses.
Okay.
So get on it if you hear this.
This is a winter shooting, hunting /survival class with Form himself.
Yes, and if you haven't shot the basic course, the 0 to 600 course, you're going to have to come on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then start the winter class for 5 days, because he doesn't want you holding up the class with the basic stuff he teaches in the 0 to 6.
Yep.
So it's well worth the money. It is going to be cold. You are going to be out in cold environment. It's a winter shooting class.
Yes.
You're going to pull pulks. You're going to be doing some cross country skiing on the and some snowshoeing. So it's all part of. Think of like Red Dawn.
Yes.
Or, I always think of the snow scene in Shooter.
Yes.
That kind of shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So this is like, I've seen Form get a lot excited about a lot of things.
Yep.
He has a lot of excitement about this.
He pushed this pretty hard. Are they going to do like the rewarming drill and shit?
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's like, you want to do it in the summer so they don't die.
Oh, okay. I got you. So to basically just lay out next year what's left and what's available, and then what we're doing the following year, we did sell out 4 weeks of 0 to 600, basically level 1 shooting course. We have a few spots left in our 600 to 1,000 advanced shooting course. There are this winter course that's going to be early 2025 that's going to open up with a few spots available. We have the African Safari Hunt with Red Sand Safaris is going to be the end of July, beginning of August, 8-day trip. That will have some spots available. And then moving forward to the following year, we're definitely going to do the bear hunt again. I'm sure we're going to do something with Red Sand Safaris again. We're talking 2026. And we will probably have 3 to 4 0 to 600 classes again, at least. So I think we'll probably put those up maybe at the beginning of next year.
Yes.
as far as all the 2026 courses are concerned.
Yeah, and you have to for the long range course, you have to have gone through the 0 to 600.
Yep.
The winter course, if you do that that also counts. So you could do the follow-on extended range one, long range one.
Yep.
And this was just a PM I got within the last couple of days. You can get on a cancellation list. You got to email marketing@shoothunt.com.
Yep.
So if somebody cancels, you'll get an email for 2025.
Yes. And then for the rifle consideration, so Forum has not finalized the rental rifle list for this coming year. However, I'm sure it will be. It's going to be a Tikka 223 that has been cut to 18 inch and threaded for a suppressor, 5/8/24. It will be in a Rokstock. It will have a Maven RS-12 on it. It will have Tikka rings on it, and it will have some form of paint job that goes along with our basic Tikka build. If you want your own rifle built for the class, you would need to basically order the rifle through us, and we would make sure it was ready for you by your class and then be at your class ready for pickup. Depending on the state that you're coming from, we could likely do the transfer on the spot and you can keep the rifle. Otherwise, if you're in one of those states that has a hold or anything like that, we'd have to take it back with us and then ship it to you. But if you want a specific build of rifle with a specific color pattern and so on, you're going to want to reach out to us ahead of time. We do not rebarrel those 223s. We cut and thread the factory barrel, and they do really well in the class.
Very well.
I don't think that we're going to have any rifles at this year's classes that were already shot. I think we've kind of went through those for the most part. We may have a couple 2-3, but those will already have been through a class, approximately 1,000 rounds for this last year.
Actually, most of those have like 50 because they went through the bear class. Half of
They
them.
went through the bear class too.
So closer to 2,000.
Yep, 2,000 rounds. I know Forum has a 223 Tikka rifle that he shot 30,000 rounds through, so I don't think the round count is hugely
I
important.
got 121-ish thousand, and it's fine.
Yeah, so I wouldn't worry too much about the round count, but there will be, like I said, if you want to rent a rifle in any way, shape, or form, I would get in touch with us ahead of time. The rental is $50 a day. That includes a suppressor. The school has 9 Diligent Defense Enticer STI suppressors that are all Cerakoted orange. Those will be your rental suppressors that go with the rifle while you're there. And there will be an opportunity to buy the rifles or some other rifles I'm sure we'll have at the classes. So,
Yeah, and then there was like a few little function issues, so they'll be pre-tested for function and make sure they run.
yes.
And they are going through. Pretty much Jake has implemented all the Forum. You'll see on his checklist coming out. Everything gets degreased, everything gets paint penned or freaking Loctite. Everything is up to snuff on that side, in my opinion.
Yep. In fact, as of next week, the team will literally be Forum trained
Yep,
to reinforce the checklist.
He's coming over to do a little shadowing.
Yes.
Think of like Hitler, that little small mustache.
Yeah. He's going to poke you in the ass.
Poke you. Oh, all right. Next one. We'll do one more because we are good.
Okay.
Hey, guys. I'd like to hear what you have to say about 25 cal. It seems like it's kind of skipped over. You know, you guys have gone from 6.5 to 6 mil, and a 257 cal is like right in the middle. It's been getting more popular lately as far as bullet manufacturers. They're making more higher BC bullets, and there's becoming more options, but you still don't see many people talk about it. Why is that? What's your guys' opinion?
I think like the 257 cal and the 277 cal, they were really obscure calibers with relatively low options for bullet choice. And they are kind of definitely picking up. So 25 PRC and 25 Creedmoor have definitely kind of picked up, whether it be for the competition world or for the hunting world. Berger came out with that 133. I think that's the 133 long range hybrid and the 135 hybrid. I may have those two backwards. And then what's the Hornady ELD that came out? 134 ELD.
I think it's an M.
So now that you have those bullets out, I'm sure that, you know, if there was a 25 PRC rifle shooting a 134 ELDM, it's going to kill.
Yes.
I mean, it's just low popularity and low bullet choices is the reason it doesn't get talked about very much.
God dang, we need Nick on here because he is like such a huge proponent.
Oh, the quarter bore.
The quarter pounder.
Quarter pounder.
So I've seen two animals get shot, and I've seen what Nick's done with his. He built multiple varieties. I think why it gets passed, in my opinion, it's going to have a resurgence. But why it gets passed over is everything competition side is 6 mil. NRL Hunter made 6 mil Revelant, so they jumped to 6.5. But you see people like Allwine Pinch and a lot of other guys that shoot well are shooting 25 Creeds. So I think you'll see a resurgence of it, but I just don't think all you really had forever was a 25-06 and a 257 Weatherby, which a lot of people had.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no heavy bullet for caliber.
Yep.
So no.
And there's still like 25 PRC is not a SAMI spec.
No.
So technically you're dealing with a Wildcat that's going to have non-head stamp brass. You got the neck down 6.5 PRC, which is actually nice because it's not a big jump. To go from .264 down to .257 is a very easy, like there's no fire forming involved to me. If you just squeeze the neck down that much, you're ready to shoot. Now it's going to get a little better once you fire form, but I mean, really the only, let's say, hunting level cartridge that somebody would come in here and ask for would probably be a 25 PRC.
25 PRC, like I think when we can get some more 6.5 SAUM or some 6 SAUM, you could make a 25.
25
like
SAUM.
fucking the SAUM case.
25 WSM.
25, I would love to see that happen too, but it's like everything is slower. Like everything we do in the hunting industry is slower than we would want. But I do think you'll see more popularity because of the bullet choices. And Hornady doesn't do anything by accident. I would imagine there'll be a follow-up to the bullets they made.
Yeah.
You know, because I don't think that they're just going to make a bullet line and a bullet and walk away.
Yeah.
When they have the TRC case. Yeah. So I would be shocked if they didn't make a 25 PRC.
Yeah, and the fact that they made it an M and not an X probably points to the competition side more than anything. At least what they think it's for.
Yes, and I did see 2 elk get shot with the 134, and it was pretty violent.
Yeah.
It looks just like an ELDM.
Yeah.
The thing that I like a 6, where you get into is you're starting to get into 6.5 PRC recoil. Like I like to keep it below the 6.5 Creedmoor recoil, and you're getting a little more recoil. But it's great bullet, great cases you can make.
Definitely.
You want one more or no?
Get it.
First and foremost, I did not come up with this idea, but it's too good to not share. Take whatever gun you're hunting with. So you're on a hunt right now. And I learned this trick while I was in the middle of nowhere in Arizona elk hunting. So I had a 300 Win Mag. I pulled up my ballistic calculator app and I got to the drop chart and I screenshot it. And then I set that screenshot as my lock screen. So instead of fumbling around with a dope card or opening up your phone or forgetting your password or whatever, you just tap it with your thumb and there is your dope card. So elk's at 400 yards and you look at 400 and it drops this many mils. And then if it's me, you miss and you start freaking out and blaming everyone except yourself and you start over. Hope this helps.
That's awesome.
It is, and I've been doing it. I got it actually from Form probably 3 or 4 years ago. I don't know where he got it from. I doubt he was the first one to think of it, but it's a great idea.
Yeah.
It's right on your lock screen, so even if your shit's not working, you have it.
I didn't know what you were pointing about until the guy finished his fucking story, but yeah.
So you can testify. I already have it on mine.
Yes.
I haven't taken. I have it every time I go hunting, like Africa. I put it on there.
Nice. That's badass.
Yeah,
that's a really good idea.
It's simple.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have your phone, and
everybody's got their fucking phone.
Yeah, you need Onyx, you need map, you need contacts. Yeah. It is a good idea. So yeah, you just take it, screenshot it, and put it on there.
Yeah, you're gonna have the guys that talk shit about, oh, your battery's gonna be dead, then you got no dope. Well, then tape it to the side of your rifle too.
I hate to say this, sound like a bitch, but if my phone's dead, I have other problems.
That's right.
And I probably need to fix them because I live through my phone, whether it's Onyx, InReach. Hey, did you see? Speaking of that, did you see that new update that iOS 18 has like satellite talk?
Really?
Yeah, I just saw the post on Rokstoks.
Well, I know. So you had to have a certain number of iPhone, which I think mine and yours are
14 and above, I think.
Yeah, and then all I heard was that they have been working out some type of plan options with the satellite people.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're saying there's going to be with the new iOS, then they must have
18.
got everything figured out.
Yeah, and I wonder who is it, Iridium or is it Elon? I wonder which one they're going to use.
Well, if anybody was going to be the easy one to go to, I'm sure it was Elon.
T-Mobile said they would have it through Elon a year and a half ago. It was coming. So, yeah, kind of. I mean, I guess if you're a fucking.
Well, I don't know if Elon would do it though, because there was Apple is deciding to put some Apple intelligence. They're called AI instead of AI artificial. They're calling it Apple intelligence. And basically, what Elon said was if Apple puts AI in the iPhone, he will ban all iPhones from every one of his businesses. Like they will not be allowed into the building.
I think he'll make a phone.
Maybe.
And say,
but I'm saying that if Apple did do that with the AI, then he's probably not the one they're using for the satellite.
You know, just while we're on the air here, let me go see if the update is in there for 18.
It might be. I think you can go on and order. It seems like the new phone updates are not as big a deal as they used to be.
No, they've got the security figured out. See, mine, so it says I have an update to 17.7, but there is an upgrade to 18.
Uh-oh. Don't be the first.
No, it says update tonight, but you'd have to go in and read all what it has.
Huh.
It says a new hiking experience in maps and updates the wallet. We'll see. I don't know. It's exciting times.
Well, it just means we don't have to carry one. And we talked about this before. Garmin knew this was coming. That was part of their effort to come out with that Garmin Zero chronograph. Because they're going to lose some of their business with all these inReaches.
Boy, they fucking crushed it with that. I see that fucking little inReach or
It's
that
everywhere.
little Garmin everywhere, that chronograph everywhere.
It's funny, too, because I know how you felt about LabRadar, and I know that just makes you happy to see LabRadar get crushed.
And I have not seen very many of their little one.
No.
Have you seen anything much about it?
No, but the Garmin is everywhere.
The Garmin is like, they did it right.
Yeah.
Garmin does things right, though, in my opinion. When they do watches, when they do freaking all of their little wearables and watches in the inReach, they're good customer service. Anyways, I want LabRadar to go out of business. So they have the shittiest. Maybe they don't no more.
Yeah.
At the time when they were the monopoly of the chronograph game and the radar side, they were terrible customer service. And maybe it's gotten better.
Yeah.
So, all right. You got anything else? You got any more words of wisdom? We didn't actually finish totally a 33XE. Buy a 33XE. They're one of the easiest fucking bullets to get to load dev. They just almost are magically shoot straight.
We got some good data on them for sure. 118 grains N570, 300 grain OTM, 4.34, somewhere right around there.
It's
Anyways,
a hammer.
I went over this whole rifle while you were talking earlier.
I did. I do. Those ATAC cars are so damn big, but they look so nice.
Yes. Well, that's going to be a nice ELR hammer for sure.
It is. All right. Thanks for listening.